Hello, in this video I'll explain why I find empiricism more persuasive than rationalism as a theory of knowledge, and then explore a specific right I believe should be safeguarded within a social contract. I'll also show how my understanding of knowledge informs my perspective on political rights. To begin, let's clarify some key ideas. Epistemology is the area of philosophy concerned with the nature of knowledge. It examines questions like how can we determine if something is true? What makes a belief reasonable or justified? And how do we distinguish real knowledge from mere opinion? Two central views on knowledge are rationalism and empiricism. Rationalism holds that certain knowledge arises from reason alone. Advocates argue that some truths, such as logic or mathematics, can be known independently of sensory experience through careful thought. Empiricism, by contrast, maintains that knowledge primarily comes from observation and experience. Empiricists argue that our senses provide the essential evidence needed to form justified beliefs around the world. Between these two, I find empiricism more compelling. More precisely, I align with a position known as reliabilism. This view holds that a belief is justified if it results from a process that consistently produces true beliefs. In other words, if a methodology regularly leads to accurate conclusions, then beliefs formed through it are considered justified. For instance, imagine I look outside and see dark clouds, feel rain on my skin, and hear it striking the ground. From this, I conclude it's raining. My belief is justified because it's based on consistent, reliable sensory input, information that could be verified. Science offers another example. Scientists don't rely on intuition or speculation. They test hypotheses through repeated experiments and observations. When results are consistent across trials, confidence in the findings grows. This reflects a reliabilist approach. Trust in methods proven to yield dependable results. I find this approach convincing because humans are prone to error. Reasoning alone can lead to conflicting conclusions, but empirical evidence allows us to test ideas and correct mistakes. When new data emerges, we can update our views. This adaptability makes empiricism both realistic and effective. My method for justifying beliefs involves 3 steps. First, I collect evidence through direct observation. Second, I compare that evidence with relevant information. Third, I assess whether the belief was formed using a reliable process, if the process had a strong track record, and the evidence supports the conclusion. The belief is justified. This perspective also resonates with certain philosophical and metaphysical ideas. Take the Buddhist concept of anatta, or no self, which suggests that personal identity is not fixed but constantly changing. I see a parallel with empiricism. Just as our senses of self evolves through experience, so too does our knowledge grow and shift as we encounter new evidence. Another relevant idea is Aristotle's eudaimonia, often translated as flourishing. It refers to living well and fulfilling one's potential. Reliable knowledge supports this goal, since sound decisions depend on accurate information. For example, medical advances based on research help people live healthier, more fulfilling lives. Now I'd like to apply this epistemological framework to question in political philosophy. The right I would include in a social contract is the right to equal treatment under the law. A social contract represents an implicit agreement among individuals to follow shared rules in exchange for security and social benefits. It enables cooperation by establishing mutual expectations. Equal treatment means that laws apply impartially to all, regardless of race, religion, gender, wealth, or status. No individual should be granted special advantages simply due to their background. Why do I support this? My reasoning stems directly from empiricist and reliabilist outlook. Historical and social observations show that societies enforcing laws fairly tend to have higher levels of trust, stability, and civic engagement. When people believe the system treats everyone equally, they are more likely to respect laws and contribute to the community. On the other hand, societies marked by legal discrimination often face unrest, inequality, and breakdowns in cooperation. These patterns offer empirical support for the value of fairness. I'm not arguing merely that equality sounds fair or moral, rather, I'm drawing conclusions from observable outcomes, exactly what empiricism encourages. This right also supports eudaimonia. People thrive when they are treated justly and have real opportunities to pursue their goals. A society that upholds equal treatment creates conditions where individuals can develop their talents and contribute meaningfully. In summary, I favor empiricism over rationalism because it roots knowledge and experience in testable evidence. Within this framework, reliabilism offers a strong basis for justification. Trusting processes that reliably produce truth, applying this truth, I defend the right to equal treatment under the law. Evidence shows that fairness fosters cooperation, trust, and human flourishing, making it both a practical and philosophically sound principle. Thank you.